Downtown, things will be great when you're downtown. Just saw last night in Soho. That's not true. I saw it last night. Me and my girlfriend saw it. Because we were both like, we want to see this movie. She was very much interested in this over Antlers. And given having now that I've seen both of them, that was probably a good call on her part. Not to say she would have hated Antlers, but this was definitely more up her alley. Last Night in Soho tells the story of Eloise, who is a girl looking to be a fashion designer, finding it hard to do it in the big city, Soho, London. And then she moves into this like small little room on the edge of town on her own near her school. And she starts having these visions of the past, of a murder of a young woman. And these visions seem to be kind of coming into real life as well. I keep trying to clean my glasses and there's always a glare. And it's her trying to solve the murder of this young woman. And that's basically the plot. But this is a movie that's kind of got a twist in a twist kind of thing. It's almost M. Night Shyamalan like that. Edgar Wright does a really great job of just setting the tone of this movie. Because right from the beginning, you do get the vibe of this movie a little bit. It's quirky. It's got a certain tone to it, kind of on the slow end of the tone, but at the same time, not slow end of the tone, kind of a dark, quirky, almost time traveling, but not quite, because we go in the past a lot. Mystery. At the same time, though, it's got a very manic vibe to it as well. It's very tone-wise, it feels very manic at points, but in a good way, like energy that just keeps building up. But then when it needs to slow its roll and pause, it really knows how to do that. I really, really like this film. Is this the best film of the year for me? Probably not. Is it within my top 10 right now? I have to go through everything, but maybe. I still got plenty of films left to see for through November into December, so we'll see what happens there. But it's very unique in storytelling, and I had to stop and think about it because we were having a discussion about it on the way home in the car. I had to think: does this feel like other Edgar Wright projects I've seen? Does it feel like any of the the Cornetto trilogy? Does it feel like a Baby Driver? I'm sure Edgar Wright's done other things too that I've seen. I just can't remember right off the top of my head what he's... Okay, Edgar Wright, hold on. What else has Edgar Wright done that I know I've seen? Let's see. He's apparently doing The Running Man, which... Okay, they just apparently announced The Running Man. Let's see. Sparks, Baby Driver, World's End, Grindhouse, Fake Trailer. Oh, actually, he really hasn't done a lot, Edgar. Oh, no, now I'm going back further down. He's done a lot of TV miniseries work. But, yeah, actually, he hasn't done a lot in terms of big movie. But, yeah, I guess I've seen the majority of bulk of his work then, movie-going-wise. And, yeah, look, I can really appreciate a lot going for this movie. It has a great nostalgia to it. There's so much... This film feels drenched in the time period that Eloise is obsessed with, the 60s. Even in the modern day, it still feels like it's a bit out of time. And it's because a lot of these 60s influence keep coming into the present day. Meanwhile, going back to the 60s, you clearly get a vibe of what the 60s kind of was like in Soho, London. It's also got it's actually got a bit of a message to it, too, about the fact that there's love and nostalgia, but the fact that you got to move on too. You can't be living in the past, and I appreciate for that, because I am someone who kind of does live back in the past. I mean, I live in the modern day, obviously, and my mind is focused on the present most of the time. But at the same time, I would be lying if I said I didn't live a bit in the nostalgia of my youth, 90s, early 2000s, all that, and the 80s. 70s, I really love movies from those decades. So, to be fair, I can see what the message is trying to say there. They also, though, I also should say right up front, all the acting is fantastic. It's on point. Eloise, played by Thomasin McKenzie, which I know I've seen her in something else. She's very good, and I'll be honest too, I think it's her voice. She has a very cute, innocent voice to her. I literally saw her this year. She was the 16-year-old version of the daughter. Okay. She was also in Jojo Rabbit, which I never did get to see. Changeover, Jean and a brave friend. Oh, she was Astrid in the Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies. Okay, that's cool. Of course, she was about 7 years younger then, but still. I mean, good on her. She's good on her for really expanding her career. She's been in a lot of good stuff. Yeah, and again, I think it's that voice. She's got a very soft voice. It's a cute voice. I'm gonna admit it's a cute voice. She comes off very innocent, like really headstrong, not headstrong, but really optimistic, dreamer, and then facing the real world, realizing how hard it's gonna be, and also apparently psychic, because they do bring this up in the trailer. I'm not spoiling this. She does seem to have the ability to see images of the past, to commune with the dead on some level. They imply in the movie her mother also had this ability, but whether or not it's actually a psychic ability or like a mental illness, they never really go into that. It is implied ultimately that it is a psychic ability, that she isn't going crazy per se, that she does have this ability. And then you get the opposite side of the fence, where the woman she's obsessed with from the past, Sandy, Anya Taylor-Joy, she is also very likable. Anya Taylor-Joy is also very attractive too. All the women in this movie are very attractive. But they do a good job at making her out to be very like starlet. She's also very strong-willed, very outgoing, but because of the time period, it was a bit of a different era. Things didn't actually go the way she wanted to, which led to her death. And I'm not going anything beyond the quotation mark there, but the mystery surrounding what happened to her ultimately. And then Matt Smith. Matt Smith is not in the movie as much as you may think. In fact, his character is not even in the movie as much as you may think. And I'm not going to say why why he's not in there as much as you think, but it involves Terrence Stamp's character, the old man you see in there, who the trailer is leading us to believe is Matt Smith. And everything going on in modern day. I'm not going to say whether that was Matt Smith or not, but there's a twist involving the Matt Smith character. I'll say that much. And there's a twist beyond that as well. There's two twists in this movie. And I will not spoil anything beyond to say one involves Terrence Stamp's character and the Matt Smith character. And I'll leave it at that. Terrence Stamp, though, he's not in the movie very much either, but he definitely carries that freaking presence that Terrence Stamp's one of those guys who just has who has, first off, charm to him, but also has that look like, I don't want to mess with this. He's old, but I get the feeling he'd snap my neck if he had the chance. But yeah, they do a great job of showing all these characters interacting. No character is minor, by the way. Let me rephrase that. No character, minor or major, is dull. Every one of them has a personality. Even the characters you don't like the standard mean girls, no, you don't like them, but they have personality to them. The bartender, the guy, a woman who owns or works at the tavern that Elise goes to work at, she is, she's got a lot of personality to her. The guy who's crushing on her, where is he? Come on, where is he? Oh, come on, he's got to be in the cast list here. So he's amazing. Oh, there is Michael. Okay, Ajao. Iao? Because I know the J can be pronounced like an H. Iao? Is that it? It's not. I don't think. I doubt it's Ijao or Ijao. I think it's Iao. I'm gonna go with Iao. He is delightful. Their flirting is very cute. It's like high school level cute. Oh man, you kind of like the two of them together. He's very sincere, but at the same time, he's still he's still an adult. He's still grown enough to know, when things are not right. I will say, if there are some issues with the film, and I will say it's not a perfect film, there is a little too much of Eloise kind of going mad in the movie, and her not doing much about it, not doing much to try to help herself. And I think part of that comes off with the fact that they say that her mother didn't ask for help, and you don't. It's not weak to ask for help. Like Eloise wants to seem to prove to herself that she wants to make it her own. But I'm watching it like, girl, okay. I'm not gonna say what happened in terms of the scene that led up to this. She does nearly kill someone at one point because of all the ghosts she sees. She nearly kills someone thinking it's a ghost. I'm like, okay, you need to. I don't know if you need meds or you need an exorcist, but do something, because you can't keep doing it on your own. And clearly, actually, I can't say if it all works out or not. This is definitely a movie where things happen. Let's put it that way. And it's a type of movie too where you can imagine things could go well or they could not go well. So I got to be very careful because I don't want to spoil anything. I will say only that it's an ending that I think you'd be satisfied with for the character. I'll say that. And that's pretty ambiguous, or ambivalent, actually, or ambiguous. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Words, terms. What do they mean? Let's find out today on Jeopardy! But ultimately, yeah, I felt like there was too much of her going kind of batshit, so I didn't really appreciate that. I not appreciate. I felt that I'm like, okay, can we move past this? Can we move past this? Other than that, I'm sure. In fact, yeah, honestly, you probably could have edited some of this down. It could have flowed a little smoother, I suppose, especially with with the whole her going mad segments. But at the same time, I can't think of much I didn't like about it. Even the second twist, which that I'm not spoiling. I'm like, the first one I kind of called in my head pretty quick after seeing how this movie was going. The second one I couldn't pick up on until we were in the scene where the twist gets revealed. At the very beginning, a character says something that made me go, okay, this is what's going on. And so that one was a little bit hard because I don't think really if you thought on it for a lot. I'm not saying not everyone wouldn't get the twist from the get, because there's so many, people who think differently and so many ways to view the twist that I suppose you could see it that way. But it's unlikely up until the first twist happens that you might be able to really consider it as the twist. But anyway, I digress. Otherwise, I mean, it's shot great. There is some editing that is great. The scene where you see in the trailer they're dancing, basically what they're doing is they keep going back and forth between Anya Taylor-Joy and Thomason. And so they're doing so many editing tricks. And at one point you didn't see Matt Smith, take Sandy, the character's name is Sandy, Anya Taylor-Joy, off screen. You see his hand still there. And then Eloise comes back on screen. I'm like, okay, they clearly just did a quick switch out with the actress. But then other scenes, you're like, okay, no, that's editing. So it's a combination of editing and just staging the actors and actresses properly. Hey, so, and the camera's constantly moving too in that scene. I love the way that scene was done. Great soundtrack too, man. It's the 60s. 60s had some great freaking music. So ultimately, I very much recommend this. Sadly, hardly anyone went out to see it because I did not check. When the actuals came in for yesterday, what did it ultimately come out as? Because it was tied. It was tied. Okay, it came in at 7th because Antlers in it actually had the exact same numbers for Sunday, but now that the actuals are in, it's actually a bit more than that. So ultimately, I still very much recommend this movie. I definitely would. If you're an Edgar Wright fan, you'll definitely like it. If you're a fan of this type of mystery, nostalgia trip, absolutely go watch it. It just got a great vibe to it. Honestly, I very much enjoyed it. Of course, the one gentleman that we asked us, and I think he was either, I'm not disparaging anyone who's slow, but I think he was a little slow. He was an older gentleman, slow, a little drunk, a little intoxicated on something, or all the above. He says, what did you think? Oh, we really liked it. It was very good. I was like, I didn't like it at all. I was like, oh, we're sorry. Which is why I was like, okay. Anywho, but yeah, I definitely liked it. I recommend it. I enjoyed it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, as always, uh, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review at some point. Hopefully, hit that bell if you want to be notified. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.